What is up, y'all? Hope y'all are having a great day out there. Today I want to address the dinosaur in the room, or elephant in the room. I'm just being cute there, but I've been getting a lot of comments since my last video just about how this truck is a dinosaur and how it's sluggish and how the powertrain is antiquated and how people wouldn't spend the money to buy one. And I completely understand those arguments and sentiments, and of course everybody's entitled to their own opinion. However, as an actual owner of this vehicle, I just want to address those comments because I think it's important to put perspective out there. So, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you are interested in 5th gen 4Runner content, or you just like what you see, please go ahead and consider subscribing or give us a thumbs up. But again, let's go ahead and get into this video. Coming from a 3rd gen Tundra to this, the power feels different, obviously. There's definitely a change in how I've had to drive the vehicle and an expectation, right? The twin turbo V6 on that Tundra is quite good. The powertrain is solid when it works, and it's very powerful. Now, coming to this platform, which is more old school in nature, it's a 5-speed automatic, it's a 4.0 V6 naturally aspirated. It doesn't have the power of that twin turbo, but it doesn't mean that it's not a good platform or it's not a good drivetrain. On the contrary, I think that this drivetrain is actually very smooth. I think that it has adequate power. I think that it has enough power to move this vehicle around, which is it's pretty heavy. It's pretty much on par with the 3rd gen Tacoma, which I owned a 3rd gen Tacoma back in 2018. And that vehicle ultimately didn't work out for me just because of the seating position. I didn't fit in it comfortably. But it was a great truck, and it was a little, I'll say this, the powertrain I felt was fine, except that the transmission liked to hunt for gears a lot. And I don't know. I enjoyed that truck, but again, I just never got comfortable in it. But I would compare the powertrain in this 4Runner to the powertrain in that 3rd gen Tacoma with a caveat. And I think that caveat is that I think that the 5th gen 4Runner drivetrain is actually a little bit more refined than that. And those of you out there that have driven both or have owned both, I think that because they added, and I think it was a 6-speed automatic, but that transmission, the way that they paired it and tuned it from the factory, just always was gear hunting. And a lot of 3rd gen Tacoma owners, most that I know, went ahead and tuned their Tacomas because they just didn't enjoy the driving experience. With this, with the 5th speed, or the 5-speed, excuse me, it's been a long day. I'm stumbling and mumbling over here, but with the 5th speed, it's really smooth. The first gear is pretty short, and then the rest of the gears are pretty long. But I think that it has really good power. It has adequate power. It has passing power when you need it. It's just not as fast as modern vehicles, and even not as fast as modern mid-sized trucks or full-size trucks, obviously. But it's great. I'm gonna hop on here and just kind of show y'all how it shifts, the power, and then just give y'all a little bit more insight. All right, so here we are. We are just cruising here. I'm about to hop on a parkway here. It's a little highway. It's not an interstate, but we'll be able to get on throttle and just show y'all. But right now we're just cruising. I'm gonna try to get up to speed here, but my foot's not all the way down, and we're getting up to speed. So right now we got to 60. Again, it's not the fastest truck in the world. It's not a race car by any means, but it gets up to speed adequately. I feel like it has enough power for what it is and how big it is. I think when you're looking at a 5th gen 4Runner, you're going to make some compromises because this vehicle is very unique in that it does so many things. It's a great off-roader. It's a great passenger vehicle, has tons of utility, versatility, but you're going to sacrifice on the speed you're going to sacrifice in the speed department, and you're going to sacrifice with the older technology in terms of the powertrain. It's an engine that's been around for 20 years, and the transmission's been around forever too. So with that, you get reliability. You know that it's going to work. You know that it's tried and true. And ultimately, that's the compromise that you're going to have to weigh if you're interested in one of these trucks. For me, it was a no-brainer. After what I experienced with the Tundra, This is more in line with what I am used to with my vehicles. Before the Tundra, I had a Nissan Frontier, and that thing was old school, and I just like simplicity and I like reliability. And but again, I think with this powertrain, you are going to sacrifice, I'm at a red light, so I'm going to talk to you guys again, but you are going to sacrifice on the speed department. Now, what you sacrifice with the speed, with passing speed, with getting onto the highway, again, it's not awful, it's adequate. You're going to gain in reliability, you're going to gain in peace of mind, and you're going to gain with just how, for an old platform, quote unquote, ancient Dinosaur, how refined it is. It is quiet, it does shift smoothly, it's a really comfortable ride. Honestly, it's been exceeding my expectations since day one. But I did want to address those issues of the power. You know, right here, you know, just going around town, it just feels right. It feels like it's never hunting for gears. It feels smooth. Unlike the third gen Tacoma, this is, you know, it just has a more smooth, refined ride than that third gen Tacoma. And that's something that I wanted to kind of compare to, because I think that on paper, these powertrain, those, you know, the third gen Tacoma powertrain and this 5th gen 4Runner powertrain are very similar, and that's what I would compare it to. But I'm going to turn in here in the park. This is where I like to ride my bike, but I'm going to turn in here and then move, you know, get back on the highway here, the street, and just, again, get it on throttle, merging on, so you guys can see how efficient it is, how slow or fast you guys think it is. But I just, again, always want to put honest content out here, and there's not a lot of content out there showing, you know, real ownership experience of owning a 5th gen 4Runner. All these generation going from Tacoma, Tundra, and 4Runner is very confusing. And again, it's been a long day, but I just want to show y'all a real ownership experience of driving the vehicle day to day, what the power is like on throttle. You know, the engine's not super broken in. I'm at around 729 miles. I will be going tomorrow. I'll be taking the trailer out. I'm gonna go do a solo trip. So I'll also do a towing vehicle, just to show you guys the towing impressions and just, you know, how it does. I'm very curious to see what this little thing can do. That's not that little, but you guys catch my drift. But yeah, let's go ahead and get back on here. I'm gonna merge onto the highway and just show y'all, you know, the power. But yeah, just putting around here, you know, it's fine. Daily driving, it gets on throttle nicely. You get real responsive power. You know, there's no turbo lag you have to worry about. It just knows what to do. And honestly, I really enjoy that, and I really appreciate that coming from a turbo engine in my last vehicle. But here we are. So now we're in first gear. Obviously, we are at a stop, and then we're gonna merge on. Hopefully this person doesn't go too slowly in the RAV. But you know, I'm pushing it, not, you know, pedal to the floor, but I'm pushing it good, you know, and it's getting up to speed fine. I'm not needing any more power. You know, I don't drive like a maniac. I drive like a normal person. Usually there's a kid in my vehicle or two, and, you know, I'm not a teenager or 20-year-old, you know, trying to drive quick and Tokyo drift all over town. You know, I'm just taking it easy, and this thing just does fine. It really is more than adequate, I would say, in the power department. And one really cool quirk and feature that this has that I've kind of enjoyed, some people have talked crap about it, is this little eco light that's on the dash. I've kind of made it into a game, so whenever that lights up for me, I like to stay in it, because I'm maximizing my fuel economy and trying to get, you know, as good of MPG as I can on this, knowing that it just doesn't get great MPG. But I actually kind of like it. I kind of like that it's showing me that I'm maximizing my fuel economy, and like I said, I've kind of made it into a game, and I try to stay in that eco mode light, if you will, when I'm just going around town or I'm on a highway stretch. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. Just wanted to address again the ancient dinosaur thing. Honestly, it's kind of getting old. You know, I think most people that call it one have just watched other YouTubers or, you know, quote unquote automotive journalists talk about the antiquated nature of this powertrain. But in my opinion, if it ain't broke, why do you need to fix it? And I think it's more than adequate. It's a fun, comfortable daily driver as well as a great off-roader, and I'm excited to go on many adventures with her. But other than that, I did want to show y'all another little quirk that this truck has. And if you guys know about this, or it's similar in y'all's trucks or in your 4Runners, let me know. But when you press the brake, there's like this electronic kind of like buzzing sound when you press the brake. I'll go down here and show y'all. It doesn't do it all the time. Let's see if I can get it to do it. Hopefully the camera picked it up. But there's just like this buzzing kind of like electronic sound when I press the brake. I haven't really researched much into it. I feel like it's just a normal characteristic of the truck, the way that the brakes are engineered in this vehicle. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to address that dinosaur ancient truck thing. If you have any other comments or questions, always put them down in the comments. I'm very active in my comments section. And like I mentioned, I will be going on a trip tomorrow with the trailer. I'll be towing, so I'll be doing a video on that. But until then, guys, y'all take care, and we'll see you on the next one.